That's my motivation.
I am trying.
It's really hard after a while. It's crazy walrus.
Okay, so there are two walruses at the shore. You know, they're meeting each other for the first time. So the okay, listen to this. So the first walrus says to the other, "Hey, you got something down here," and the other walrus is like, "Where?"
I know. It's called Cadena.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway. I wouldn't have guessed.
The other one is like,
Oh. I know that.
Tropic Thunder's in the house. With all of us, we are all in control of our own destiny. And you are as successful as you want to be. By you choosing to be here in this situation, you're making a conscious effort for your own personal career to enhance that, you know? So all those things you can do are going to benefit you.
I think I got to sip from that sweet sugar, you know, early, and it really kind of put me on my path. I knew I wanted to draw for a living, you know. I got older, you know, I got into graffiti. I got very into graffiti. And, you know, I will say that I feel like graffiti more than anything kind of put me on my path, you know, and it made me realize how much I loved making art for art's sake. You know, because you know, by the sheer nature of doing graffiti, you're not necessarily doing it for any other reason outside of putting it up to stoke your friends or, you know, piss off people, or you know what I mean. You're not doing it for money, and you know, there was always something that was very, very attractive to me about that.
You should, regardless of what age you're at, you should figure out what you are totally passionate about and go for that industry.
Od svetla i nadanja do
stvorena bez jednog dodira, zelena u rukama ranjiva. Tajna tla u tvom dahu sazrela, nevesta od očiju skrivena, govori reči tvojih dlanova, poznaj me ispod kore pera.
The drive behind all of this is I get to work with great people every time I'm organizing something like this. I see all my friends come into my home city, all getting along well together, people from different ways of my life that I bring together here, that they have the chance to sit down, meet each other, create great art with each other over the course of a few days. And by that topic, just connect with each other. I really appreciate connecting people and bringing good people together. I find that to be the most amazing part of my job. Having the chance to, be around such amazing artists that create such amazing artwork and are able to teach such inspiring things and motivate me to become a better man as well.
Attitude that is going to take you and drive you in this business.
Style is subjective. Style is something that, it's kind of what you said.
It's also the social side of things.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you wouldn't hire a person that is just a good painter that doesn't do anything for the team.
It keeps egos in check, and it does. All you got to do is work on a job with Knox, and he'll make your balls shrink up into your body cavity, and it makes you a lot more willing and accepting to see your own shortcomings and want to problem solve, because you want to do a good job for the team.
I personally, for me, one of the things that I've witnessed over the last 4 years, I miss my guys in San Francisco. I miss them as fuck.
Thank you. Everybody go to the elevators.
Jones. I'm an evangelist and digital alchemist. It's really exciting to be out here and to be part of the constant evolution of these events. And it's beautiful to see the progression of how it's changed and escalated, and how both of us have matured over our own paths. And it's just really grateful to be part of this.
My motivation behind my work is just being inspired by the world around me. And the art that I've been doing the last several years specifically is related to tattooing. That industry is, definitely a large family, and it's just really motivating, exciting to be a part of something special. I think it's all, everything crosses boundaries, and everything's intertwined with each other. I mean, don't play, nor do I do work for video games. I don't, and nor have I ever done any digital drawing or painting, but I can appreciate it, and my friends do it, and they do it well, and we can all appreciate what each other does, for sure. Everything you do is permanent, and you're affecting other individuals' lives for the rest of their lives, and it's a lot of responsibility.
Make it as strong as possible in a storytelling sense to be able to transport whatever the story is supposed to be about. And then all the rest is just rendering, it's just adding on top of this.
I always wanted to get into the entertainment industry, and I've been playing video games since I was a little kid, like Atari 2600. So it's kind of been like something I've always wanted to do. I like the process on the commercial art stuff for games, just to see when you work on something and you see it come out in game. It's pretty satisfying.
Expressing yourself is something that is important for me. Expressing myself, maybe because at home we didn't talk that much. Maybe it comes from there. It's something really psychological, I'm more into drawing, into expressing myself with something visual, and that's it. I couldn't do anything else.
I don't think I really ever had a choice. That's just the only thing that ever, there was no other option. In high school I dropped a lot of courses so I could draw, because I knew I wanted to go to art school. And another job was never an option. I mean, it was just either draw or die. That's my motivation. It just became apparent at some point in my life that that's what I wanted to do. That's what I had to do. There was nothing else.
It's an incredible experience, guys. It's really, really astonishing. Adoro la gente strana. Io amo questo uomo che sta facendo adesso la ripresa. I love strange people. All together, we have a good chance to change something. Thanks.
For hair, I use old beat up old Krondowski brush, sand brush.
This is kind of silly, but like when I'm doing like focal points of even like buildings or something, like I try to like make faces out of them. It's gonna be dark.
I guess my favorite thing about painting is painting, the act of painting. The result is fun too, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see a whole lot yet. I've been just kind of back and forth between the workshop video and the hotel, but I made it over to the Pergamon Museum the other day, and that was really cool to see.
It's been like, like one of the best ever. Yeah, more real, I guess. Like that was, yeah, I gotta say.
It's been a blast.
I'm still getting it figured out, you know. We're figuring it out.
My name is Igor Albon-Chevalier, and it's kind of difficult to tell. Several stuff, doing a lot of shit, but I guess I'm more of a toolbox. Storyteller, I guess. That's the closest thing to what I would like to be called anyway. But I'm a production designer for big American budgets. So it means I'm the art director of the art directors. I'm the one who decides with the director what kind of face the movie should have visually, and so I sculpt, I do illustrations, mood illustrations, storyboards. Lately, I've been splitting my working time in two. I'm just doing freelancing on one side, making money, and on the other, just feeding my soul by creating my own comics, writing them, drawing them. Don't sleep much. My main motive now, or my main engine, is fueled by the frustration of having been working for the movie industry for like 15 years. More about being in that realm when I write or draw, where I feel comfortable, where it's my world. I'm actually doing it, rather than not doing it and thinking about it all the time and just craving for that single minute where I'm doing exactly what the fuck I want.
Again and again and again, you deliver the product you're required to deliver, and it becomes a job. Expected to do what you do best constantly, it does become a job. For me, I have to balance things. Do I want to lose my job and do what I want to do for the next couple of years and I'll be hungry? Or do I want to be spoiled the way I am right now and deliver the next Monday because this is my deadline? And I choose to deliver without having the full reference. Her forearm is a little actually.
Or she's speaking Croatian.
Let's go.
I was reading American comic books, and I loved, you know, X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern. But what happened was, and it's kind of a random story, is my mother got sick when I was younger, and she had a skin disease, and it couldn't get cured. So she went to a Japanese doctor, and the Japanese doctor said, if you eat Japanese food, shiitake mushrooms, tofu, seaweed, these kind of things that'll clear up your skin. And at that point, 30 years ago, it was kind of alternative medicine, but she had no other choice. So every week we would drive to this Japanese food store about an hour away, and she would put me in the kids' book section, the manga section, before I even knew what manga was, 30 years ago while she did the shopping. And then I would think they were coloring books. Mommy, what's this? And she said, oh, that's Japanese. And in my mind, I always had Japanese. The word stuck in. And every week as we'd go to the store, I'd really get, you know, engrossed in these Japanese comics. And when I was living in New York running a manga company, I never lost my love of Marvel comics. So I met the people at Marvel and was able to kind of blend my love of manga and Marvel into kind of what I do today. Bringing international artistic aspects of both countries together and parlay it into creating comic books on a global level.
Well, I try to let the people who are totally uninterested in what I do analyze what I did, because I think they can be kind of more objective than some fans. I don't care if they like it or not. I care about can they tell what's happening, which is not a matter of opinion.
I mean, like everybody, like most artists, I'm kind of obsessed by drawing and painting. I love it. I like to try to, you know, express something about, I don't know, what I think about the world or those kinds of things through pictures. It's pretty simple, but you know, it never gets old. You're always into it. It's always exciting, and there's always problems to be solved, which I think is one of the best things. If I had a job where I had to do the same thing day after day, it would just be terrible. I don't think I could do it. I'm not that kind of a person. It's like I need things to be new and challenging all of the time, and you know, you're always trying to look to do the best you can do, and always learn and grow. And, yeah.
But the general goal, like, reason why I'm asking people that stuff is not, oh, do you like my style? It's like just sheer information. Do you understand what just happened here on these two panels? What happened there? Well, the guy got stabbed, you know, in a concealed way. Great, thank you very much. That's exactly what I need.
I guess it's as cheesy as it sounds. The most important thing is just sort of like follow what it is that you believe in and like work towards what it is that you want and not what others want. I know that's cheesy, but it's the truth, so yeah.
Working since 10 years in the art field for video games and so on, and I know that it's really a long fight. You need to have a lot of energy, dedication to what you are doing, and I think like all the other artists, we are all trying to improve our own work, and it's really a long path. A lot of work, a lot of sweets, sometimes a lot of pain, but at the end it's really enjoyable.
Being an artist for a living, it's so much more fulfilling, I think, than like most people like having their jobs. Like it's not something you just kind of clock in the morning and you do your job and you go home. Like it's something that you think about all the time, and it's kind of like part of your life where it's like I don't know, all of us we seem to have like a drive where we need to like create something and like share stuff. And even though it's a job also, it's like you know, it's like putting a little piece of yourself in what you do, and it's really special compared to, you know, just doing a job. It's much more than that.
So that's the thing. It's like even if you do your measurements and it doesn't look right, it still doesn't look right. I mean, I've drawn her nose like twice now, but the third time's a charm. I'm gonna get, you know, the proportion. And since I miscalculated the nose, I'll have to adapt the mouth. I've been drawing and sort of painting since I was a kid. I spent a long time as a nerd and that really helps when it comes to entertainment design. And I really love the people that I work with. I think that's one of the biggest motivations that I have too. I'm really invested in our company, and you know, these guys are like family to me, so they keep me going. And being surrounded by talent that I live in the shadow of is actually, I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'd say that's the motivation in a nutshell. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you don't have to erase it. You can shift it.
From the job I'm actually doing. Like my smallest amount of inspiration comes from comics at all. Because if you stay with your inspiration just in the certain field that you're working in, you're only getting inspired by stuff that has already been done.
Usually I have a vague idea of either an image or a story I want to convey or an idea.
And for me, one thing that is very important is who designed it. What's the genre it's being built in. Like, for example, if something is a super slick sci-fi kind of thing, I can abbreviate more from a human standpoint or from a design that I already know, like a car or a plane.
It's an open communication, and it's not like it's only one way. You know, it's not like they're the commanders and you're the slave. It's a very open kind of relationship. As long as you're collaborative and they're collaborative. Like if there's some complicated stuff to sort out, and complicated doesn't really mean like deep things, but maybe just like some tiny details, like some tiny, conflicts with the director. Then you can talk with them. But talking, makes things easier, because most of the times, I don't know, you probably found out yourselves too. Even with your friends, when you reply, nobody can hear the tone of your voice, and sometimes things can be very easily solved if you just call them. I actually try to change as much as possible, the project I work on, the people I work with, and sometimes even the style I work with. And I'm a bitch. I like it.
It's because your paint's all wicked glue. Repeat, so where is everyone?
Hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi there. You just caught me painting a head. Yeah, the European crowd is very polite. They're so much more polite and restrained, and you get a lot less of people walking up while you're demoing and asking to look at their portfolios and stuff. You kind of got to tease questions out of them, which can be a little bit of a challenge, but it's endearing too, I think. I just like to draw shit. That's it. It doesn't go a whole lot deeper.
Take your shoes off. Stay a while.
Oh, hi. Welcome.
Hi, welcome to this.
Showing these people how to get ahead in art. I know. It's as easy as this.
One man, two heads.
I find that really, really cool and refreshing.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It's great. Just a lot of input all the time.
Amazing.
It's very interesting to see how other artists work here, how the way they do things completely different from each other's.
It's
awesome. I'm like shocked.
Really inspiring.
Ich habe keine Ahnung.
Dance until the morning light. Forget about the worries on your mind. Leave them all behind. Oh, rhythm of the night.
I painted that.
You can leave them all behind. Oh, rhythm of the night.
Ich weiß gar nicht, wo ich anfangen soll.
There you go.
The vibe and the incredible creative energy that is just flowing in the air.
There was a squirrel.
My back is hurting, but everything's fine.
It's so cool to be around so many artists with so much talent. I'm really motivated now. A little bit tired. Really excited. Like the gods, you know.
It's been quite intensive.
So much information.
And I have learned so much, and I'm so inspired, and I cannot wait to go back and paint.
Definitely worth it.
What would I do without you? You make movies into fucking experiences. You make stuff look good. You make me look good. I look thinner on your camera than I've ever been. And I like you as a friend because you're fucking real. You punch people in the butt.
Draw or die. That's my motivation.